Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Freya Casey, also known as Healthy Minimalist Mom. Today, I was thinking about what video to make today. I definitely have to clean my house, but we're in the middle of painting the window frames, so I do need to clean my fridge. So that is something I probably can do quite quickly. So let's see what's in the fridge, take everything out, wipe it out, and try to see if I can't make it look a little bit more neat. Okay, so I got everything out of the fridge and it's totally unorganized now, but the good thing is, like, when you really take everything out, I recommend it highly. Even though, you know, it wasn't like terribly unorganized, but it's like there's so much food, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually make like a meal list for this week of all the things that we have to use up out of the fridge, and I'll think of meals that I can make with all this stuff. And the rest of this stuff I'm gonna try to prep or cut up or like do whatever I need to do with it in order to use it quickly, because I want to use it out. Some of the stuff is it's still good, but if I just leave it lying around, I have been working so much on the house lately that I haven't been really good in prepping my stuff. I usually cut up my veggies and stuff and put them in containers. But so, yeah, let me see what I can do here. Okay, this is our fruit drawer, and I have apples here and more apples. We eat lots of apples here, but as you can see, this one is not good anymore, so I'm gonna have to get rid of this. And see, this is what happens when you have too much stuff. One spoiled apple starts spoiling the others, and there's one really nasty one underneath. Let me dig for it. Oh my goodness. Okay, you see this nastiness, and there's a bunch of liquid. So I'm gonna have to clean that out and just kind of see what else I can use out of here. And then here are all the things. This is everything I'm gonna get rid of. These are way ripe because there was too much in the fridge. There's some cheese that I didn't eat, and technically I could still eat it, but I didn't like it really. And then here, there's a little bit of leftover coconut milk. I have no idea how long that's been in there. I cook with coconut milk a lot, but since I have no idea how long this has been opened, no, not using. And then there's some leftover food that's been in there for a while, so that's gonna go. So that's, and then these are, I can't remember what they're called, but these are like, it's a vegetable, but I'm clearly not gonna make this. It stains, and I just don't have time to make this, and been in there forever. It's starting to sprout, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I mean, it's not that terribly much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, but I hate getting rid of food, having to throw stuff away. I'm going to be better in the future. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I went through everything. I wiped down the fridge. I prepped a bunch of food, and I feel so much better now. Let me show you what's in my fridge now. I actually came up with 7 meals that, you know, what was in the fridge still, or what is still in there now, in combination with some stuff I still have in the freezer. So 7 meals. That's a lot. I never would have thought I could make 7 meals out of what's still in the fridge, plus just a few things from the freezer. Like we have some fish and some steak in the freezer. I'm gonna add that to some of the meals, but let me show you what we've got. Let's begin with the door. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing left up here. I forgot to put the eggs back. I was wondering, there's supposed to be a carton of eggs here. That is missing. And down here, this is our milk. I had a lime left over, and I love this. This is just water and lime juice and just a dash of cayenne pepper and some ginger, cut up ginger root. So ketchup, and this doesn't look really appetizing, but it's delicious. It's my homemade salad dressing. There was a little bit left over, so I have to use that up before I make new. This is pure turmeric juice, and I use this for my immune booster. I will link the video in case you haven't watched it. I love the immune booster. I'm gonna make some tomorrow. I'm gonna juice the pineapple for that also. So let's move over here. Up here, these are all the other condiments, like when we grill. These are like barbecue sauces and stuff. Pistachios, like they're without the shells, and I always keep them in the fridge because they keep fresh much longer. Just lettuce. I always put lettuce in here. I always just buy a whole head of lettuce and I put it in a container. This is air sealed and this stays fresh for so long. You could keep it for at least an entire week and it doesn't wilt. I had an avocado left, so I made some guacamole because this is the form in which I will most likely eat the avocado because it's quickly accessible. These are some little dumplings. I'm gonna make soup this week, and wait a minute, let me look for this. This also goes in the soup, but this is a Swabian thing. We live in Swabia in Germany, and these are little, it's like stuffed pockets of pasta, and it's delicious. My daughter loves it. Okay, let's go back here. Cut up the tomatoes because that's the most likely way I will put them on my salad. And this is some potato salad. I had some boiled potatoes left over, so I just made some very quick potato salad. Just put some oil and vinegar, salt and pepper, and some pickles in there. I cut up all the sweet potatoes and carrots that I had, and I'm gonna make a meal with it this week. I'm just gonna roast the vegetables in the oven. I love that. Down here, again, I showed you this, and these are some gnocchi that are left over, Italian gnocchi, and I'm gonna make a meal with this week. And these are some leftovers from this week. This is what we had, this is what we had for lunch today, and someone's gonna have this probably tomorrow or in a couple days. This is delicious. I like it. I'm the only one in this house who likes it. It's herring. Yeah, and it's actually wrapped up herring, and there's a pickle in the middle. I know some people may think it's gross, but I like it. It's delicious. Some olives, put them in my salad. And there's our lunch meat. I put it in a container, and a little bit of cheese left over. And I had a half an onion left, and I cut it up because, again, that's how I will put it in my salad. Otherwise, I probably will be too lazy to put it on there. A little bit of bell pepper left over. There's Greek yogurt. Non-flavored. There's my kefir, which I have to revive it again. I haven't made it in a couple weeks. Here are my drawers, and there's not a lot in there. There's one lemon left over. There's my garlic. This is my fresh ginger root, which I use all the time. And in here, this is all that I could save. There are some apples and some oranges. These are organic. They're amazing. I love just to peel them and eat them. And some tangerines. Hopefully we'll eat them this week. And then all we have left is a couple of yogurts. My daughter loves these vanilla yogurts. I don't eat any flavored bought yogurt, store-bought. And this is another milk. And that is it. And I should add, this was also in the fridge before. I took it out. I'm gonna have to feed it. This is Emma. This is my sourdough starter. Those of you who have followed me for a while, you may have seen this before. I've had it for, let's see, 4 or 5 months now. And I have to feed it today, so I can actually bake bread sometime in the next couple of days. It's made of rye flour, and it's amazing. The thing is, when I cut things up and I put them in a way that I can visually compartmentalize, it is so much easier for me to be creative about what I'm gonna eat. I don't really meal plan too much, but today I wanted to write down so I could make sure I use up everything in there and that I make sure it's like to work it all off. Also, I put it in priority, you know, like prioritize what needs to be eaten first and what can still stay fresh for a few more days before it spoils. So that's just for me. It works best if I make my food very accessible. I mean, when it's just like when I have a sweet potato, I love sweet potatoes, but it happens sometimes that I just put the sweet potato in the fridge and then I'm always too lazy to cut it up because, you have to peel it, you have to cut it if I wanted to roast it. Now, if I just put it in the microwave, I don't have to really do anything to it. I just poke some holes and put it in the microwave, but I like it much better when I roast it, either like in the pan or on the sheet pan in my oven. And so I love that I cut it up now, so I can look forward to actually have some breakfast with sweet potatoes, because I have so many. I could probably make it twice. And I highly recommend you make your food accessible, especially when you think you have nothing in the fridge. Take everything out and see how much you can find. I bet you will be surprised. Thank you so much for watching today. If you liked the video, consider subscribing for more videos about cleaning, organizing, decluttering, minimalism, staying healthy. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you hopefully soon. Bye.